Vai, episodio 2, andiamo alla fattoria di Lobart, facciamo quello che ci chiede di fare, cerchiamo di ottenere gli abiti per poter entrare nella città portuale di Khorinis. Intanto però leggiamo giustamente, scusa leggiamo sti messaggi. Intanto questo è un mio ritratto da ricercato, c'è scritto manifesto da ricercato. Questo messaggio: fermate tutti gli uomini che arrivano dalle montagne. Se dovesse arrivare qualcuno al passo sarà probabilmente un vecchio. Non fatevi ingannare, è uno stregone pericoloso. Tenetelo d'occhio. È possibile che il tipo che cercate lo contatterà. Con questa lettera vi sto spedendo 30 pezzi d'oro. Ne darò altri 30 a chiunque ucciderà l'uomo. Portate la sua testa alla vecchia miniera. Firmato D. E questo è il messaggio sigillato che magari leggeremo più tardi. È il messaggio che ci ha dato Cavalorn da consegnare a Vatras, mago dell'acqua che è nella città di Khorinis. Facciamo fuori sto lupacchiotto col coltello, un lupo col coltello del lupo. Vabbè, che è un giovane lupo. Lo leggeremo salvando e poi ricaricando, perché non voglio togliere il sigillo, ecco. Un paio di piante curative che ci fanno sempre comodo. Qui vediamo il nostro primo altare di Innos, al quale noi rubiamo tutte le offerte perché siamo cattivi. Siamo delle cattive persone, un antieroe. E poi lo prego. Voglio pregare, donare nulla. Non voglio pregare. Non voglio pregare, tantomeno donare. Quelle sanguimosche le lascerei stare, perché non mi sembrano al momento alla nostra portata.
Hey, stranger. I saw how you came out of the mountains. You can be glad you didn't come by here 3 weeks ago. We would have taken you for an escaped convict. And we made short work of those. You look completely done in. What do you want here?
Sono stato attaccato dai briganti. Ho bisogno di un equipaggio. Sono stato attaccato dai briganti.
Bandits in the mountains.
Those filthy rabble. They were probably the same bastards who took one of our sheep last night. You had terrific luck. Most people don't get away alive.
Ci credo. Non ti daranno più
Those
fastidio.
bandits won't trouble you anymore.
Why? Are they dead?
They picked a fight with the wrong guy.
Dillo un
Thank
po'.
Enos. Here, it isn't much, but I want you to have it. I'll tell the others about this.
Grazie. Sto andando in
I'm
città.
on my way to town.
The way you look, you'll have to bribe the guides to get in. And you have to know what they want to hear.
And that would be...
Well, for example, that you're from Lobart's farm and want to go to the smith in the city. But that won't do you any good. You don't look like a farmer.
I see.
Già. Devo avere l'aspetto di un contadino, infatti.
I need better equipment.
I can imagine. But I tell you right now, we don't have anything to give away. If you can pay for what you want, Lobart will sell you something. Otherwise, go to him and ask him if he has work for you.
Dove si trova
Where can I
Lobart?
find Lobart?
Well, on the farm, of course. The farm belongs to him.
Beh,
And don't try
giustamente.
messing with him. He's thrashed a lot of tramps and thrown them off his farm.
Va bene.
There's another of those scummy beasts.
Oh, bravo. Il lupo che attacca le pecore è un grande classico questo,
One less monster around.
Ah, comunque non mi dai punti esperienza come in Gothic 1 se un altro uccide al posto mio. Male. No, è corretto, insomma, è più corretto così. E questo è Lobart, il primo fattore che
Why are you
incontriamo.
hanging around on my land? Whose side are you on? The rebelling farmers or the king?
Con i ribelli o con il re? Non capisco.
I don't understand.
What? Don't mess with me, boy. I want to know where you stand. So who are you for?
Vabbè, sono dalla parte dei contadini, ecco,
I'm
così
for the
almeno lui è un
peasants.
contadino in
Cut.
teoria.
That damned warmonger Onar will drag us all into the grave. What do you think? How long will the paladins just stand by? After what Onar has done, the whole city is in an uproar.
Comunque io non vorrei dire niente, caro Lobart, ma dovresti un attimino aggiornarmi sulla situa perché ero un pochino fuori dai giochi.
What's
Che
going on here
succede?
anyway?
Don't you know what's going on? Boy, where are you from? We're on the edge of a civil war. Up till now, all the
Guerra
farmers
civile.
looked at the tribute to the city as fair taxation. But since the paladins have come to Khorinis, the city guards visit us more and more often. And little by little, they're taking everything. If it goes on like this, soon we won't have anything left for ourselves. Some farmers are starting to rebel. Onar was the first of them.
Ah, quindi, ok. Quindi, ricapitolando. I paladini, intanto Khorinis è un'isola, ok? L'isola di Khorinis e la città di Khorinis che possiamo già vedere da qui sullo sfondo. È ovviamente la città principale dell'isola. I paladini dal continente di Mirtana sono venuti fino a qua in missione. Al momento non rivelerò quale missione. Che succede? Siccome hanno bisogno di risorse, stanno tassando i contadini e gli stanno prendendo le cose che gli servono, un tributo maggiore rispetto al solito. Non a tutti i contadini sta bene, ovviamente, e a quello più grande di tutti che incontreremo più avanti, che si chiama Onar, non gli sta bene per niente. Infatti vedremo. Parlami ancora di Onar, vediamo che ci
Tell me
dice.
more about this Onar.
Onar is the biggest farmer here
È
in
il
the
più
area.
grande proprietario
He's broken
terriero
with the
della
city.
zona.
They say he's hired mercenaries to keep the city guard off his back. Can't blame him. In any case, no royal soldier dares to set foot on his farm anymore.
E infatti, come ha detto, Onar ha preferito assoldare dei mercenari piuttosto che dare il tributo ai paladini del re. I paladini, infatti, per evitare guai non ci vanno. Sicuramente ci hanno già avuto i loro scontri. Chi sono i mercenari assoldati da Onar?
Who are those mercenaries that Onar hired?
I don't know much about the guys. Supposedly, a lot of them are former prisoners from the mining colony.
E
Everybody
infatti-
knows what you can expect from them.
Sono i mercenari che sono arrivati dalla colonia penale, dalla barriera, insomma, dalla valle delle miniere, ecco. E tu da che parte stai, coi contadini o col re?
What about you? Whose side are you on? Peasants or king?
I'm too close to the city to really have a choice. But I'm glad about that. I wouldn't know how to decide. The king is bleeding us dry, and Onar sets his mercenaries on anyone who won't join him. And that's why most of the other farmers are still undecided, but sooner or later they'll have to choose one side or the other.
Sto cercando lavoro.
I'm looking for work.
I can't use another farmhand, but I could offer some work to a day laborer. Well, what I mean is, you can lend a hand in the field, and there's certainly a few other things to do around here. I could pay you with gold, or give you a few decent things to
Bravo,
wear.
ed è quello che ci
Things are worth a
interessa.
fair bit. I can't give them to you for
Non
nothing.
ce lo regala,
I
però
can
ci
sell
fanno
'em to you
sconto
cheap
se lavoriamo
if you work
per
for
lui.
me. By the
Chiaro.
looks of you, I should say, take the clothes. Anyway, the small turnip field next to the barn needs to be harvested.
Va bene.
All right.
Then hurry it up a bit before I change my mind.
Niente, ci ha offerto la possibilità di fare dei lavoretti per lui. In cambio ci sconterà gli abiti e noi cogliamo le rape per il suo campo. Però meno ce li fa costare, meno insomma, se ci fa un bello sconto chi se ne frega, tanto è così che si parte nei giochi. Finché non diventeremo uno degli uomini più temibili di tutta Khorinis, se non il più temibile. Beh, forse il no, che ci sono dei soggetti abbastanza forti effettivamente, però Stiamo a vedere. E io colgo le rape. Ok, l'ho colte tutte, credo. Qui non vedo nient'altro. Ecco le tue rape.
Here are your turnips.
Hey, you're not all that worthless after all. Take them
Visto?
to my wife in the house. Tell her to cook them.
What about my pay?
I can give you 5 gold pieces, or sell you the clothes cheaper.
Lo
What's it
sconto,
to
lo
be?
sconto. Facci lo sconto.
Make me a better...
Good. I'll give them to you for 10 gold pieces
Uno
less.
sconto dei 10. Hai qualcos'altro da farmi
Have you
fare?
got anything else for me to do?
I don't. But you can ask my wife or the boys in the fields. Maybe they need some help.
Va bene, chiederò a loro, magari mi fa un po' meno ancora. Allora, andiamo da sua... Oh no, no, no. Non sguainare la spada, il coltello. Andiamo da sua moglie. Gli diamo le rape. Ciao
Hey,
Hilda.
you!
Puoi offrirmi qualcosa da
Can you give me something
mangiare?
to eat?
Here, take this. You're a good lad.
Oh, grazie Hilda.
I've got a few
Tieni le
turnips here
rape.
for you.
Great. That should be enough to fatten those guys up. Since you're here anyway, I saw a traveling trader pass by here a few minutes ago. I think he stopped on his way to town. Go to him and see whether he's got a decent frying pan for me.
Va bene. Dammi l'oro e andrò dal
Give me the
mercante.
gold, and I'll go see the merchant for you.
Are you saying I can trust you? Just don't spend the money on booze, do you hear?
Va bene. Mo andiamo dal mercante. Che lei ha visto. Io l'ho visto, però va bene. Se lei l'ha visto. Sarà quello? Sì, penso che sia questo. Per Khorinis canta.
Who do we have here? You're on your way to the city. Am I not right?
Maybe.
You look like a fugitive. All fugitives are headed for the city. You could even
okay.
be a former convict for the mining colony. I don't care where you come from, but I believe I have an interesting offer for you.
Sentiamo.
What do you have to offer?
The way you look, the guards will never let you into the city. I can
va
help you
bene.
get into the city. I have here a small piece of paper with the royal seal and the governor's signature. A pass. With this scrap of paper in your
lascia
pocket,
passare?
you can run about as raggedly as you please, and the guards will leave you alone. Interested?
Deve esserci un
There
tranello.
must be a catch to this.
No, no catch. You will merely owe me a favor.
No. Tienila.
Now, keep your paper.
Faccio da me, grazie.
I seem to have misjudged you, huh? Well, do you want something else? Can I interest you in my wares?
Allora, mostrami la
Show me you
mercanzia.
take your pick.
Voglio una padella. Una padella che costa 20. Va bene. Devo andare.
I've got to go.
Suit yourself.
Madonna, pensavo che mi avanzava qualcosina, invece. A parte che, mi potrei anche vendere tutte le altre cavolate che ho, perché non l'ho fatto? Mostrami la
Show me-
mercanzia. Rimostrami la mercanzia. Vediamo un po' che robaccia c'ho io. Questa la tengo. Stascia che decisamente serve troppa forza per il risultato che dà. Anche sta spada arrugginita, stesso discorso. La clava chiodata, i rami tutti. Pugnale anche questo tutti, perché che ci faccio? L'arco corto no, lo tengo. E sta roba... No, sta roba la tengo. Ma gli rivendo la padella.
I've got...
Suit.
Ok, come siamo messi a oro? Fa vedere un po'. 247. Mo gli riportiamo la padella a Hilda. Poi andiamo dai braccianti e sentiamo se loro hanno qualche lavorettino da farci svolgere.
Hey,
Ecco la
here's your
padella.
frying.
Fine. Let's see then whether it's any good.
E andiamo dai braccianti. Tipo un bel salvataggio che è un po' troppo tempo che non salvo. Contadino. Dovrebbero avere un nome quelli che... Vino.
And how goes the work?
Same as always. Lot to do, not enough money, and with a bit of bad luck, the orcs will come tomorrow and burn down our farm. The king's paladins have occupied the whole city, but I can hardly believe they'll move their butts out here when the orcs attack us.
Hai bisogno d'aiuto? Sto cercando lavoro.
Can I help you? I'm looking for work.
Do you know anything about working in the fields?
What is there to know?
In that case, I think we're fine here. Thank you. If you want to work for Lobart as a day laborer, I can only warn you, he pays people like you really miserable.
He offered to sell me some clean clothes cheap if I helped out on the farm.
Well, I don't have anything for you to do, but you can bring me and the boys something to drink. Fetch me a bottle of wine and I'll tell
infatti si
Lobart
chiama
you
vino
were
e vuole il
real
vino.
help to us.
Toh,
Here's your wine.
bevi.
I'd better not ask where you got it from, huh?
Alla
Who
salute.
cares? Thanks anyway. Lobart will only hear the best about you.
Grazie.
I'm headed for...
And?
Is there anything interesting you can tell me about the city?
Nope. But Maleth goes to the city from time to time. Maybe he knows something. I mean, something that would interest you.
Ci sono
Is there
notizie?
any...
I could have sworn I saw an orc over there on the edge of the woods
Giurerei
2
di aver
days
visto
ago.
un orco
Since
sul
then,
confine
I've
del
kept
bosco.
At least one eye open at night.
Ah, quindi c'è un orco su sto bosco. Credo che ancora non siamo assolutamente in grado di affrontarlo, ma proprio neanche da lontano. Questi che dicono? Sentimo? Ma non diranno niente. Infatti quando non ci sono i nomi propri è inutile parlarci. Un po' la stessa regola del primo Gothic.
Hey, you!
Allora, hai qualcos'altro?
Have
I don't.
Te sei?
I can give you clean farmer's work clothes. Can you
Vediamo
pay for 'em
quanto
then?
si sconta. Quanto vuoi?
How much for the work?
Well, we'll see. You've worked the field for me. You
Sì.
helped my wife.
Sì.
Vino says you were real help to him. And that's saying something. Maleth said you chased the bandits off. Bastards have caused us a lot of trouble.
Esatto.
Thanks to you, we're rid of them. 30 gold pieces.
30
It's not
monete.
gonna get any cheaper.
30 monete ci sta, dai.
Give me the work clothes then.
There's a chest in my house where you'll find clean things. But don't even think about taking anything else without asking.
Va bene. Grazie. Grazie. Ho lavorato. Però, grazie. L'educazione sta bene anche nel trogolo dei maiali, come si dice a casa mia. Allora, forziere. Ecco qua l'abbigliamento. 2 monete d'oro recuperate. Formaggio e mela. Bene, dai. Ecco qua. Così perlomeno non siamo più... Siamo un minimo presentabili, diciamo. E continuiamo per la nostra via. Armi. Sta spada un potevo, vero? No. 9 punti destrezza. Va bene. Continuiamo per la nostra via. Verso la città portuale di Khorinis. 2 sanguimosche. 2 non va bene. Ho capito che è piccola. No, 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 no. Finché non c'ho roba un pochino aiutaci tu. Bravo. Bravo.
One less monster around.
Esatto. E ci siamo vestiti da contadini. Quindi vediamo se la nostra... Però aspetta, noi eravamo da Greg, anzi, il pirata. Eravamo da Greg e il pirata, però si vede che il salvataggio ci ha fatto tornare qui. No, non ho salvato? Boh, vabbè. Comunque, caro il mio Greg, aiutaci con queste sanguimosche. Bravo. Boom.
One less monster around.
Esatto.
Hey, you!
Allora,
Hey, you, come here.
What is it?
On your way to the city, and really busy too. Listen, you look like a smart guy to me. I bet you'll go far in life. You're certainly nobody's fool, I could see that right away. Say, you'd probably like to earn a few gold coins, wouldn't you?
quindi il pirata ci vuole proporre qualcosa. Bando le ciance, che vuoi?
Cut the crap. Tell me what you want.
You see, that's exactly what I mean. Nobody gets anywhere with you just by using pretty words. I knew it. I'm dealing with a tough businessman
Che
here.
adoratore.
You're a businessman and certainly interested
Un
in a small
affarista.
addition to your purse, aren't you?
Allora, stai fuggendo da qualcuno?
Are you hiding from someone?
Of course not. What nonsense. I just enjoy standing among the trees so the wind won't blow right into my face. What about you now? Do you want the job?
Perché no?
Why not?
Dai.
You'll have to forgive an ignorant old seaman. I'm a stranger in these parts and I don't really know all the rules. So I had to find out the hard way that traveling strangers aren't welcome in the harbor city. Now I'm standing here with no idea how I'm supposed to get into the city. I have some extremely important business to conduct and my
Importantissimo.
client won't tolerate a delay, you see. You'll help me find a way to get past the city guard, won't you?
About
Un
the
modo
city
per
guards.
superare
Yes,
le
got an
guardie.
idea?
No, gli abiti non glieli do. Potresti spacciarti per un raccoglitore d'erbe.
You could get into the city as a herb gatherer.
What? Do I look like I'd be picking flowers in the woods?
Una
What
bustarella.
about bribery?
Well, if that worked for me, I'd have tried it already.
Prima bisogna
I have to think
ripensarci.
about it first.
All right, but hurry up about it. I've got no time to lose.
Va bene. Il pirata ci ha chiesto di aiutarlo, ma senza gli abiti io dove vado? Intanto entriamo, poi se ne riparla.
Oh, are you one of the hands on Lobart's farm? I never seen you here.
I haven't been with Lobart for long.
What you want in the city?
Che voglio? Ho portato le erbe, sono venuto per unirmi alla guardia. Voglio vedere il fabbro.
I want to see the blacksmith to have some tools repaired.
Sì.
Okay, fine. In you go then. And if you see Lobart, you can tell him he should feed his sheep well. We're coming back to him shortly.
Scemo.
Halt, strangers. I am Lothar, paladin of the king and humble servant of Innos, your lord. Our commander, Lord Hagen, has entrusted me with the task of explaining to all newcomers the new laws which apply to all inhabitants of the city.
Since people have started simply vanishing all over this town, everyone needs to watch out that they don't suffer the same fate.
Ho un messaggio importante, non glielo dico. Tanto comunque me lo rivolterebbe. Allora, spiegami le regole della città. Dove trovo un posto per... Dai.
All right. Explain the rules of the city to me.
First, the Honorable Paladin Lord Hagen resides in the upper quarter, along
Nei
with his
quartieri
troops.
alti, va
That
bene.
is why access to the upper quarter is allowed only to honorable citizens.
Quindi,
Second, the town hall in the upper quarter is now the command post of the paladins. Only the paladins themselves and members of the militia have access to it. And third, whoever is accused of a crime must exonerate himself with the commander of the militia. Any questions?
no. Sì. I cittadini stanno scomparendo.
The townspeople are simply disappearing?
Yes, it seems to be more every day. It's most annoying that the militia have still not been able to discover what's behind these strange occurrences. Small wonder that the town's inhabitants are very wary of strangers right now. So don't provoke them when you're in town, understood?
Va bene, va bene, va bene. Come faccio a diventare un cittadino di questa
How
città?
do I become a citizen of the town?
Only those with regular jobs will be considered citizens of the town. But don't think that you'll be admitted to Lord Hagen just because you're a citizen of the town. As a citizen, you have access to the upper quarter, nothing more. Only as a member of the militia will you have access to the town hall.
Quindi per diventare cittadino dobbiamo diventare apprendisti di qualcuno qui dentro. Dove trovo un lavoro?
Where can I find work?
You'll have to apply as an apprentice to one of the masters here in the lower part of the city. As soon as a master accepts you, you are a citizen of the town. However, the other masters must agree to it. That's the custom here in Khorinis. If you were thinking about looking for work in the Harbor District, forget it. The scum of the city live there. Don't even go there. You would regret it.
Allora, come si arriva al quartiere più alto? Già me l'ha detto. Come posso entrare in una guardia cittadina?
How do I get accepted into the militia?
By express command of Lord Hagen, only citizens of the town will be admitted into the militia.
I see.
If you want to know more, speak to Lord Andre in the barracks.
Quindi in caserma. Cosa devo fare per procurarmi? Va bene. Dove si trova il comandante della guardia? Dove trovo un posto per dormire?
Where can I spend the night here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the hotel directly across from the barracks. The paladins pay for the lodging of all travelers who come to the city. The traveling traders from the marketplace are also lodged there.
Perfetto. Va bene. Non gli dico altro.
As long as you're in Khorinis, you can feel safe. The king's paladins watch over this city now.
Allora sì, Allora se ci sono i paladini, ragazzi, non succede niente. Dai, va. Cerchiamo piuttosto un maestro al quale fare l'apprendista.
Halt! No one may enter the storeroom.
Va bene.
Why can't anyone enter the storeroom?
The Honorable Lord Hagen has confiscated the goods for the king's army.
Va bene.
Are you deaf?
Ho capito. Sta calmo.
Hey, you!
Hello, stranger. You must be hungry and thirsty. Perhaps I can interest you in my wares.
Veramente mi stavo dirigendo, mi serve del denaro, sto cercando un lavoro.
I need some money, and I'm looking for work.
I've heard that Bosper has trouble with his suppliers. His shop is right over there. They say he pays pretty well.
Cosa puoi offrirmi?
What do you
At the moment, I don't have the damned landowner doesn't deliver anymore. And what we get from the small farms isn't enough to meet the demands of the city.
Parlami ancora della rivoluzione
Tell me
contadina.
more about the peasants' revolt.
It's quite simple. Onar, the fat landowner, won't pay any more taxes to the city. Imagine, we're at war with the orcs, and that fat slob wants everything for himself.
Fa
Normally, the
bene.
city guard would take firm measures in such cases. But now comes the best part. They say Onar has hired mercenaries to keep the troops from the city off his back. Mercenaries. The whole thing will end in a damn war, as if one war weren't enough.
Cosa puoi dirmi sui mercenari di Onar?
What do you know about Onar's mercenaries?
I heard that most of them are former convicts from the mining colony, and their leader's supposed to have been a big shot with the king, a general or something, whom they put away as a traitor. These are terrible times.
Un generale del re che è lì. Veramente mi stavo dirigendo dai paladini. Mostrami la mercanzia. Vabbè, mi interessa, però fine. Cittadino, quartieri alti sono quelli lì, ma ovviamente non vado neanche a andarci.
Hey, you're new in town, huh?
Yes, and what about you?
I've come from the mainland, and now I'm hanging around here. I'm almost out of gold, so all I can do now is join the militia, I guess. But I don't want to do that. I won't be slaughtered by those orcs on the king's behalf.
Cosa mi dici della guardia?
What can you tell me about the militia?
One of the paladins has taken command. A certain Lord Andre. He's trying to mobilize half the city in case the orcs attack. But you need to be a citizen of the town in order to be admitted. As far as I know, if you're not a citizen, you can train anyway. But you won't be officially admitted.
Quindi se non sei cittadino ti puoi allenare, però niente di più. Cos'altro puoi dirmi di Lord Andre?
What else can you tell me about Lord Andre?
He has taken over the position of judge as well. If you cause any trouble in this town, you're gonna have to answer to him. I was once in a brawl with a citizen. He went crying to Lord Andre and ratted me out. That little matter cost me 50 gold pieces. I was lucky that it happened at night, or others would have witnessed it. The more people complain about you in this town, the higher your penalty will be.
Quindi ci si può comportare male, ecco. Con chi hai combattuto?
Who did you fight with?
With a fellow named Valentino. He often hangs out in the tavern near the temple. I'm not usually a violent person, but that guy needed his face rearranged in the worst way.
È accaduto qualcosa di
Has anything
particolare?
exciting happened?
You could say that. They robbed Bosper the bowmaker. What a brazen thing to do, I tell you. The fellow just ambled into the shop in broad daylight and grabbed himself a bow. And Bosper right after him, hollering, "Stop right there, you rogue!" But the thief was too fast. There's nothing you can do about it.
E quindi hanno derubato Bosper. Qui c'è Matteo, un mercante.
What can I do for you?
Cosa vendi?
What are you selling?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even armor. I still have a special piece in double hardened armor of snapper
Armatura di
leather.
pelle di
Still
squartatore
unused.
rinforzata,
Interested?
mai usata. Quanto costa? 250 monete.
What do you know about paladins?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had nothing but trouble. The last time I was headed for the upper end of town, the guards flat out stopped me and asked me what was my business there.
And?
Of course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when most of those pompous asses were still chasing pigs with wooden swords. And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
I paladini hanno confiscato la tua
The
merce.
paladins seized your goods.
Everything I had stored in the backyard. They simply posted a guard in front of the
Ah,
entrance
e quella
to the
merce
yard. If
giustamente
I'm lucky,
accanto.
they won't take everything. At least they might leave the armor here.
C'è un'armatura quindi lì, eh? Puoi aiutarmi a raggiungere? Compra l'armatura di cuoio. Aspetta, perché se lì c'è un'armatura voglio un attimo vedere se posso, se riesco a sgraffignarla in qualche modo.
He never would have thought of that himself.
In realtà ho anche una mezza idea. Noi come siamo messi a pergamene? Cura ferite, freccia infuocata, luce, palla di fuoco. No, ci vorrebbe un bel incantesimo del sonno.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Un bel incantesimo del sonno, sì.
Welcome to my shop, stranger.
E questo è
I am
Bosper.
I craft bows and trade in furs. What brings you to Khorinis?
Devo raggiungere questo cercando lavoro.
I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. The last one just gave up his job 2 days ago. Do you know anything about hunting then?
Well,
Veramente.
I could teach you how to skin animals. I'll pay you well for every skin you bring me.
Ecco, questa è un'altra abilità che mi interessa, quindi probabilmente farò il suo apprendista. Voglio iniziare come... E se volessi... Perché il tuo apprendista se n'è andato?
Why did your apprentice give up his job?
All he said was that it had become too dangerous out there. If you're really interested, then you can ask him yourself. His name is Bartok. He's probably hanging out near Khorinis Tavern. Go through the underpass from the smithy, then you're headed straight for it.
E se vuole... Ho sentito che qualcuno ti ha derubato.
I've heard that someone stole from you.
Who told you that? Probably Bartok, huh? Didn't he have anything better to tell you? Oh, well, let me tell you, if I get hold of this bastard, he can say his prayers. I left the shop for only a moment. When I came back, I could only just see him leave, with my bow on his shoulder. I called the guards right away, but the lowlife ran towards the harbor, and they lost him there. I lit a bonfire under their asses then, and they searched the entire harbor district, but they didn't find a thing. Those bumbling lackeys. I bet my bow is still in town somewhere. I informed the guards on both city gates, and they haven't seen anyone leave with my bow. When I get my hands on that bastard.
E se volesse, voglio iniziare come tuo apprendista.
I want to start as your apprentice.
Before I take you on, I need to know, of course, whether you're any good at all.
Cosa vuoi che faccia?
What do you want me to do for you?
I will teach you how to skin an animal, and you will bring me, let's say, half a dozen wolf skins. Then I'll know that you have learned your trade. If it doesn't take you forever, and if the skins are in acceptable condition, I will take you on if you like.
Quindi insegnami a scuoiare gli animali.
Got my own opinion about that. Teach me how to skin animals.
Right. Listen, it's quite easy. You take a sharp blade and cut open the animal's belly. Then make a few small incisions on the inside of the legs, and you can peel off the skin. Bring me the wolf skins and we shall see.
Mostrami la mercanzia, vediamo che c'ha. E ovviamente archi e frecce. Insomma. Va bene, per iniziare con lui quindi abbiamo bisogno di far fuori almeno 6 lupi. Ma noi adesso ci facciamo un attimino di latina.
Face. You're not from Khorinis, are you? This is not a good time for travelers. Bandits everywhere, no work, and now the farmers have risen up too. What winds have blown you here?
Venti di tempesta. Allora, cosa sai? Sto cercando lavoro.
I'm looking for work.
Do you know anything about carpentry?
The only thing I can make out of wood is a fire.
And what about locks?
Well...
I'm sorry, but I can't use you if you know nothing about my trade. And I have no money to pay for an apprentice.
What if I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the other masters here?
All right, I shall give you my approval. But you had better get yourself the blessing of the gods first.
Degli dei.
Say, are you a man of faith?
Beh.
Well, if you mean, do I say my prayers regularly?
I see. A man who does not ply his trade with the blessing of the gods will never receive my approval. Ask for the gods' forgiveness for your transgressions. Then go to Vatras, the priest of Adonos, and have him give you his blessing. He will tell you where you can find a priest of Innos. You should get his
anche la
blessing
benedizione
too.
di Innos.
Once you have received the blessing of the gods, I shall vote for you.
Allora, te ne intendi di serrature?
You know a lot about locks.
What good is a fine chest without a fine lock? I make my own locks. That way, I can at least be sure I haven't built my chest that sturdy for nothing. A poorly made lock is easy to break, and there are plenty of thieves about in Khorinis, especially lately.
Puoi insegnarmi?
Can you teach me how to pick locks?
I don't know whether you can be trusted or not. For all I know, you might be one of those layabouts who only come to town to empty the chests
io
of honest
non lo
people.
farei mai,
I'm not going to
fidati.
teach you anything before I'm convinced that you're an honest fellow.
Va bene, quindi non mi insegna.
Can you sell me some lockpicks?
Well, all right, but they won't be of any use to you as long as you don't know how they work.
Ci sta. Hai già avuto un
Have
apprendista?
you had an apprentice before?
Yes, and not too long ago.
And what happened?
His name is Elvrich. He's my nephew. I was quite pleased with him, actually, but one day he simply didn't show up for work.
Dov'è adesso?
Where is Elvrich now?
How would I know? He kept hanging around that filthy brothel.
Ah,
by the
bene
harbor.
sapersi.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's still warming the bed of some whore down there.
Quando è stata l'ultima
How
volta
long
che l'hai
has it
visto?
been since you saw him?
I guess it must be about 2 weeks.
Hai denunciato?
Have you reported that to the militia?
Of course I have. They were supposed to catch him and see to it that the lazy bones does his work, but I already regret that. He can do whatever he wants. Sooner or later he'll realize he'll get nowhere in Khorinis without a decent job.
Is that so?
Va bene. Poi viene la tua approvazione, cosa sai sui paladini, va bene, dai. Questo che fa? Ah, voleva chiacchierare con lui. Va bene. Salviamo. Guardia. Brian e Arad. Questo deve essere il fabbro. Sto cercando
I'm
lavoro.
looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. Brian will have finished his apprenticeship soon, and then he'll leave the city. Are you good for anything?
If you mean, do I know blacksmith's work?
No, that's not what I meant. Sooner or later, the orcs are going to lay siege to the city, and then the only men who will count will be those who are in a position to defend our city. And I won't take on anyone as an apprentice who will disgrace me by fleeing the city with the women and the good-for-nothings, instead of holding the fort here
insomma,
with the men.
questo è un uomo vero. Non sono un buon
I'm
annuncio.
not a good for nothing.
Those are big words. Can you back them up with big deeds?
What are you getting at?
Bring me an orc's weapon. Orcs have been seen near the city. With a bit of luck, you won't have to search for long. If you manage to bring one down, I'll take you on as an apprentice, provided the other masters agree.
Niente, insomma. Posso prestare servizio come apprendista con un altro maestro?
The other masters may well approve, but I will only give you my approval.
Ah, quindi devo vendi anche le
Do
armi?
you sell weapons too?
Forget it. Everything I make goes to the paladins or the militia. I have a commission for 100 swords from Lord Hagen. He wants to equip the city guard.
Un orco a sto livello?
New in the city, huh? I'm Brian. I'm Master Harrod's apprentice.
Beh, l'avevo capito quello. Cosa fa?
What's it like to be the smith's apprentice?
Why do you ask? You want to be my successor?
Sì.
Maybe.
Why not? I'm almost done with my apprenticeship, and then I'm gonna leave the city. But not because of Harrod. He is a good master. I have learned a lot
Buttala.
from him.
Perché allora?
Why do you want to leave this town?
Because the people here are getting on my nerves above all the other masters. I still remember what a fuss it was getting accepted as an apprentice with Harrod. Really, every one of them jokers had something to say about it. I want to decide for myself who I can or can't take as an apprentice.
Parlami ancora del maestro Ara, posso comprare delle
Can
armi
I
da
buy
te?
weapons from you?
Not really, I'm merely an assistant. The weapons that are made in this smithy are collected by the militia and taken to the towers where they're stored. But if it has anything to do with forging, maybe I can help you.
Vediamo. Vediamo che hai
What can I get
offrito.
from you?
I can sell you some steel billets.
Che ci faccio delle barre in acciaio. Parlami ancora
Tell
di
me more
Ara.
about Master Harrod.
He's not in a very good mood right now. A few days ago, the paladins came and ordered him to forge some swords for them. They've even forbidden him to sell swords to anyone else. Now he slaves day and night to finish the job as quickly as possible.
Chi sono gli altri
Who are the other
maestri?
masters?
Well, there's Thorben the carpenter, Bosper the bowmaker, Constantino the alchemist, and Matteo. He sells armor, but first of all, he's a merchant. All the
Ok.
masters have their houses here on the street.
and Constantino's shop is in the underpass to the temple.
Va bene, grazie delle info. Quindi qui sotto l'arco c'è Costantino. Costantino?
What do you want? I'm not giving anything away.
Va bene, sta calmo.
I'm looking to become an apprentice.
Really? And with whom are you gonna sign up?
Ho bisogno di quali posso. Voglio prestare servizio con uno degli
I
altri
want to
maestri.
sign up with one of the other masters.
You have come to ask my approval?
Esatto.
As far as I'm concerned, you can sign up with whoever you like.
Va bene. Bisogno di guarire, posso venderti delle erbe, mostrami la mercanzia. Energia vitale. Questa per preparare le pozioni. Comunque non mi interessa. Cose che non mi interessano. Ah, e qui vediamo il sacerdote, o meglio il mago dell'acqua Vatras, al quale dobbiamo consegnare il messaggio da parte di Cavalor. Ah, questo è Valentino. Vabbè, per adesso lo lascio stare.
Hey, you!
Adonis be with you.
Who are you?
I am Vatras, a servant of Adonis, the guardian of the divine and earthly equilibrium. What can I do for you?
Tieni, ho una lettera per te.
Here, I've got a letter for you.
For me? Indeed. This is an important message you're bringing me. I wonder how you got hold of this letter.
Da Cavalon.
I got it from Cavalorn, the hunter.
Cavalorn? Where is he?
He told me to tell you he couldn't make it and is headed for the meeting point. Whatever he meant by that.
I see that you have gained Cavalorn's trust. That speaks in your favor.
Parlami dell'anello dell'acqua.
Tell me about the ring of water.
And why would I do that?
Mi manda
Cavalorn
Cavalon.
sent me to you.
And what did he tell you?
He said you're in dire need of more good people.
Aha. So, you want to join us, son?
Voglio unirmi, sì.
I want to join the ring of water.
You do? Well, that means you have already fulfilled the first requirement.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, there must be someone among us who trusts you. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know about it. But I know nothing about you at all.
What do you want to know?
Well, you could tell me where you come from and why you have come to the city.
I carry an important message for the leader of the Paladins.
What is this message?
Ah, accadranno, I draghi sono arrivati.
A large army is gathering as we talk, led by dragons and determined to conquer the country.
Dragons? You speak of beings which until now have only been mentioned in legends. How do you know this?
Comunque non mi sembra il caso di mentire a mago, quindi direi che nomino Xardas.
Zardas, the magician, told me. He sent me to warn the Paladins.
The necromancer. So he lives, and he sent you. Who are you really?
Sono un ex detenuto.
I'm a former convict from the penal colony of Khorinis.
You are a former prisoner who has been told by Zardas, the necromancer, that dragons have come to conquer the country, and you have come to report this to the Paladins. That all sounds rather fantastic, but I cannot perceive that you are lying to me. Therefore, I must assume that your motives are honorable. I want to give you a chance to join the Ring of Water.
Butta là. Che devo fare?
What must I do in order to join the ring?
Know that you take on great responsibility by joining the ring. I do not let just anyone join who comes to us and asks. If you want to join the ring, you will have to prove that you act like one of us.
And that means...
Before we let a young man join our ranks, he must have done a great deed for the ring. Only then can I begin to consider letting you help preserve the balance of forces on this island.
Ho sconfitto il dormiente. Cioè, effettivamente, ho liberato le persone e distrutto la barriera. Cioè, queste sono tutte corrette.
I have vanquished the sleeper. Isn't that a great enough deed?
My ears hear many a tale these days, including the story about the banning of the beast called the Sleeper. I have not heard that this was achieved by a single man, although your eyes tell me that you are convinced you did this. That confuses me slightly, but I cannot be sure that my senses might not deceive me sometimes.
I have freed many people. The barrier is gone.
Even if you can really claim responsibility for that, the great event in the Valley of Mines has not only set free the water mages and other upright citizens. All the criminals of the entire country are roaming Khorinis these days, harassing the population. The bandits have already taken over large areas of land outside the city. It has become all but impossible to leave the town and return unharmed.
Ma te sta bene niente, allora, che devo fare?
So what would be an appropriate deed that might convince you?
Khorinis is facing a great enigma these days. The number of people missing from the town seems to increase almost daily. If you can explain to me what happened to them, you shall have your place within the Ring of Water. However,
yes?
You should take your message to the paladins first. I consider it a matter of utmost importance. Talk to Lord Hagen.
Ok. Lord Hagen non mi riceverà.
But Lord Hagen is not going to receive me.
Yes, he will, no doubt about it, provided you become a member of a powerful community first. The ring has far-reaching connections. We shall assist you in conveying your message as soon as possible. You should talk about this to Laris, whom I trust. He will help you.
In quale comunità dovrei entrare?
What community should I join?
There are only 3 communities that have enough influence. These are the City Militia, the Monastery of the Fire Magicians, and the troop of mercenaries on the landowner's farm. The choice is yours, son. Laris can certainly assist you with this difficult decision. Talk to him about it.
Quindi c'è Lares, Anche lui nostra vecchia conoscenza. Allora, vediamo altro. Ti chiedo la tua... Ah già, la benedizione.
I'm asking your blessing.
Why should I give you my blessing, stranger?
I want to start an apprenticeship with one of the masters in the lower part of town.
Go with the blessing of Adanos, my son.
Dove si trova un sacerdote di
Where
Innos?
can I find a priest of Innos?
The best thing would be to look around the marketplace. You will find an emissary of the monastery there.
Puoi insegnarmi qualcosa? Parlami degli dei.
Can you teach me?
Only the chosen of Innos and the chosen of Adanos are permitted to work rune magic. But common mortals can also work magic with the help of spell scrolls. I can show you how you can channel and expand your magic powers.
Voglio fare una donazione? No.
Tell me about
Parlami
what
dei
exactly would you like to know?
Beliar, vai.
Tell me about
Beliar is the dark god of death, destruction, and all things unnatural. He is in eternal battle with Innos, but Adanos guards the balance between the two. Only a few humans follow the call of Beliar. However, he grants great strength to those who do.
Già. Qui effettivamente su Gothic 2 cominciamo ad approfondire gli dei.
Tell me about Adanos.
Adanos is the god of the center. He is the scales of justice and guardian of the balance between Innos and Beliar. He commands the power of change. His gift is the water in all the oceans, rivers, and lakes. His priests are the water mages, just as I am a servant and priest of Adanos.
Che invece nel primo capitolo erano accennati.
Tell me about
Qui
Innos.
guadagnano profondità.
Innos is the first and highest god. He created the sun and the world.
He commands light and fire, his gifts to humanity. He is law and justice. His priests are the magicians of fire. The paladins are his warriors.
Va bene, direi che ho sbagliato. Direi che basta.
Wait, if you see Laris, give him this ornament and tell him that it needs to be returned. He'll know what to do with it.
Va bene, salviamo perché non voglio rifare sto discorso un'altra volta. Bene, continuiamo il nostro giro. Non so neanche che ora è fatto sul gioco, sono le 9 sul gioco. Beh, anche qui più o meno siamo lì, dai. Non c'è una grossa differenza. Infatti mi sa che dovrò andare a letto perché qui sono andati tutti i mercanti a dormire.
I agree with you completely.
Ah, customer, what can I do for you?
Sto cercando una stanza.
I'm looking.
Ah, you're in the right place then.
One of the paladins told me that I could spend the night here for free.
Yes, yes. Just go up the stairs.
Bene.
We still have 1 or 2 beds free.
Perché pagano i
Why do the
paladini?
paladins pay?
I don't know what that's all about either. For one thing, I think they want to get all the poor suckers off the streets so they don't make any mischief. And for another, they want to get on the good side of the traveling traders. Now that the farmers are rebelling, we have to rely on the traders for provisions.
Beh,
Besides,
giusto, dai,
I think
giusto.
they want to improve the morale in the city a bit. Lord Andre has even arranged for free beer to be given out at the Gallows Square.
Who's staying?
Almost all of them are traveling traders from the market.
Aha.
Don't even think about messing with their stuff. I don't want any trouble here.
Va bene.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis. By the
Hey.
express order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. Due to the general situation, the forest and wilderness...
Dormiamo fino a domattina. E continuiamo a fare il nostro giro per la città di Khorinis. Allora, qua c'è la caserma. Questo è Wolfgar. Sarà...
How's your duty?
Oh, these boys swing their swords like farmers. But when I'm done with them, every single one of them will be a tough, hard bastard.
Dillo un po'. Comunque la traduzione era un pochino penosa, vabbè. Voglio entrare a far parte della guardia... No, com'è la vita nella
What's it
guardia?
like with the militia?
Lord Andre is our commander now. The militia used to report to the governor. He had no idea what we do here. But Lord Andre knows what he's doing. He takes good care of the men. Everyone who starts here gets some decent armor and a good weapon. And there are bonuses if you've done a good job. He pays a bounty for every criminal captured.
Puoi insegnarmi anche come combattere?
Can you also train?
Lord Andre has ordered that we train everyone who is in a position to defend the city. But that's only true for combat training. All other kinds of training are reserved for the militia.
Va
Can you
bene.
at least halfway handle a weapon?
I think so.
All right. You can start when you're ready.
Allora, voglio entrare... Quali sono i vantaggi di un'arma a 2 mani? Da dove andiamo inizio l'addestramento? Armi a una mano e armi a 2 mani. Va bene. Comunque no. Per adesso no. Lord Andre.
Peace be with you, stranger. What brings you to me?
Ho un messaggio importante. No, non glielo dico. Voglio prestare servizio. Perché voi paladini siete in città?
Why are you...
The goals of our mission are secret. I can only
Obiettivo
tell you that
segreto.
there is no danger for the citizens of the town. You need not worry.
A proposito delle persone scomparse.
About those missing people.
Just leave me alone with that. I've got other problems.
Ma non gli interessa. E niente. Va bene, non gli dico altro.
Don't bother me, I'm on...
Ah, scusa, Questi bevono.
Hey, what's up?
As long as the paladins don't have any new assignments for me, I can have myself a couple of beers here. What more could you ask?
You're working for the paladins?
Well, yeah, I report to them on the situation in the city. At the moment, everything is quiet.
Bene. Com'è la situazione con gli orchi?
How are things with the orcs?
No reason to worry. We in the city guard and the paladins have everything under control.
Everything.
Go
Tutto.
home and let us do our work. We're watching over the town and its citizens.
Would you like another beer?
There's nothing better than a cool ale.
Beh, questo ha trincato leggermente.
You were about to say something about the orcs.
Oh, yeah, right. The orcs are absolutely no threat to the city.
No, nessuna
They're stuck
minaccia.
in the Valley of Mines, and the pass is held by the paladins. Not even a meat bug could get through there.
Bah.
Hey,
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis.
What are you doing
By the
here?
explicit
I'm a
order of
novice
the
from the
Honorable Lord
monastery.
Hagen,
I
the
run
following
errands for the
decree is
magicians
hereby
and
enacted.
also
quindi questo è un novizio dei maghi del fuoco.
I have 3 innkeepers in the city with wine from the
All
monastery.
civilian judges are to hand over their duties to the royal paladins.
One of them is the good man here behind the bar. Then there is Kerrigan, who has his tavern on the Temple Square, and Cardiff, the owner of the tavern in the Harbor District.
Every inhabitant of Khorinis who is
Cosa mi
guilty of a
dici del
crime
monastero?
is to
Tell me about
report
the monastery.
immediately to Lord
We
Andre.
novices seek enlightenment and prayer to Innos, and learn the principles of faith from the magicians. We serve them as we serve Innos, and prepare ourselves for the union with the fire.
Conducimi al monastero.
Take me to the monastery.
Forget it. Do you know how many creatures I had to evade on the way? When I think of all those blood flies, wolves, and goblins, I'm glad that I don't have to leave here anymore. Besides, you can't enter the monastery anyway.
Why not?
Entrance is only permitted to magicians, paladins, and novices.
E come posso
How can I
diventare?
become a novice?
If a man feels the deep desire,
Hey, just tell me what the conditions are.
you need the offerings, a sheep and 1,000 gold pieces.
1000 monete d'oro.
How am I
E una
supposed to get
pecora.
that much gold?
Since you obviously don't know anyone who would pay that for you, you'll simply have to go to work.
Where can I find a sheep?
From the farmers, of course. But you won't get one for nothing.
Beh, chiaro, ovvio. Vabbè.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Khorinis. By the
Locandiere.
explicit order of the Honorable Lord
Qua c'è
Hagen,
Abuyin
the following
che
decree
predice
is
il
hereby
futuro. Lui, se non erro, Abuyin è il primo personaggio che vediamo che proviene dal Varant, cioè dalla regione a sud di Mirtana, dal continente. Quindi dovrebbe essere una Shishin. Ok, siamo tornati qua, andiamo da questa parte adesso. Questo che fa?
What do you want?
I wanted to have a look around here.
Then where exactly are you headed?
Has anything exciting happened lately?
Not long ago, the city guards turned the entire harbor district upside down. They were searching for stolen property. There have been plenty of thefts here lately, especially in the better quarters. They're obviously trying to blame the poor suckers at the harbor for everything.
Beh, chiaro.
Don't tell this to anyone.
Veramente mi stavo di dire cosa c'è di interessante da vedere qui.
What interesting things are there to see here?
There's a cat house here and a tavern. The landlord's name is Khorinis. If it's information you want, he'll be the right person to talk to. Do you need money, by the way?
Sì, ma lo stai regalando.
Are you giving it away?
No, but right across the street here is the house of Lamar, the moneylender. I'm sure he'll give you a few gold pieces. Just go ahead.
No, non voglio niente.
Do you work for Lamar?
Smart kid.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
Non voglio niente, grazie mille.
Everybody knows by now.
You look a little worse for wear. Haven't slept in a long time, have you?
Too long, I should say.
Come on, step closer. With me, you'll find what you're looking for.
Mostrami, ha detto di avere, sono incluse anche le
You said
informazioni.
that you've got what I need. Does that include information?
But of course, what is it you want to know?
Ci sono altri commercianti, conosci qualcuno? Cosa c'è di interessante da vedere? È accaduto qualcosa? No, mostrami la mercanzia.
Show me your...
Nulla di che. Va bene. Cittadino.
Hey, I don't know you. What do you want here? Are you headed for the tavern?
No, non sto andando alla taverna.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I would have said. But that isn't important, and that's why, since you're new here, I'll make you an offer. That's your entrance fee.
Ah, questo mi vuole 50 pezzi. Ma non voglio andarci. No, non vedrai una sua moneta.
But I don't.
You know, sooner or later, everyone wants.
Non vedrai nessuna
And I'll
moneta.
take everything you have.
Vabbè. Questo mi attacca. Va bene. Mo mi faccio inseguire. Però non così. Dai. Mo vediamo che ne pensa la guardia cittadina.
Stop right there, you lowlife.
Niente, non gli interessa niente. Niente, non gliene frega niente a nessuno.
Nobody ever asked for money. Oh!
Oh my God. Not bad.
Ah. Affambanda. Ah. Maledetto, maledetto. Mo mi tocca parlare con tutti. Che cavolo. Colpa la mia. Sto maledetto somaro. Ah boh. Con tutti, alla fine solo con questo. Però taglio corto.
What do you want?
I wanted to have a...
What is that, dude?
Are you...
What?
That's terrible.
Are you...
What my husband thinks.
It's not there.
I won't tell her a thing.
E poi con
Keep anything to himself.
questa qui, Fegna. Che nome?
You look
Fegna.
a
Someone's gotta do the work.
But
Niente, fine. Allora, mo. Stavolta facciamo direttamente così.
Hey!
Don't tell this to anyone. That's an open That's not what my husband thinks. Who says things like that?
You're wrong.
That's an open
Dai. Madonna, mi ha fatto un sacco male.
give him what for?
Not bad.
Vai, che cazzo, è normale. Io non c'ho un cavolo d'armatura praticamente. Poi ho sbagliato anche a caricare. C'ho un cavolo d'armatura, c'ho un cavolo di coltellino. Lares.
I must be crazy. What are you doing here?
Vecchia canaglia.
Lares, you old scoundrel, how did you get here?
I was able to escape to the Valley of Mines just in time, together with Lee and some of the other boys. You remember Lee, don't you?
È ovvio che mi ricordo.
Lee? You've been through a... I got out of... He made a deal with the farmer. He and his boys defend the farm.
Lui e i suoi ragazzi
Onar
difendono la
feeds them in
fattoria di
return.
Onar. Ma infatti mi ero immaginato che era lui. Mi manda Vatras.
Vatras sent me. He told me to come to you when I needed help.
So you've already been to see Vatras? You must have made a lasting impression on him. Otherwise, he certainly wouldn't have volunteered my name. Especially not since the matter with those missing people still hasn't been resolved. Tell me what you need.
Vatras mi ha dato questo ornamento per te.
Vatras gave me this ornament.
Of course. It's up to me, as usual. I might have known. I'll have to walk halfway across the island to take it back to the water mages.
Se vuoi lo porto io.
I can take...
I think I'd better take it there myself. But you could come with me. Only, I can't leave here at the moment. I need to keep an eye on the harbor.
Ah, boh. Qual è il tuo ruolo?
What exactly do you do here at the harbor?
I can't talk about that. Vatras would have my head.
Ho bisogno del tuo aiuto.
And what exactly were you thinking of?
Denaro.
Don't we all? Sorry, but I have none to give you. But Lamar, the moneylender, still owes me a favor. Go to him and borrow whatever money you need. I'll take care of the rest. You'll find Lamar in the harbor district, where it borders on the lower part of town.
Devo a tutti i costi parlare con i paladini.
What do you want from them?
They've got a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos. I must have it.
And you think they'll give it to you? You'll never get into the upper end of town.
He can't keep anything to himself.
Sai perché sono
Do you know why the paladins are here?
Nobody knows for sure. Lots of people think it's because of the orcs, but I think there's another reason. It probably has something to do with the old penal colony.
You don't say.
Hai detto che mi avresti aiutato.
Getting tired of being the underdog, are you? All right, I see your point. I can exert my influence with the mercenaries if you want to join Lee. And I'm sure we can find a way to get you into the monastery soon. But the easiest thing would certainly be for you to join the militia.
No,
Which
voglio far parte dei paladini. Voglio far parte dei mercenari.
The mercenaries. I'm sure that Lee will accept you. But first, you're going to have to pass a test. Go and talk to Cord on Onar's farm. He can help you with your test. Tell him that you reside beneath my wing. He'll understand.
Che rapporti hai con
So what's your
Vatras?
business with Vatras?
I've got this little agreement with the water mages, you see.
What kind of an agreement?
We work for them, and they see to it that our past in the penal colony doesn't get us into trouble.
You're talking about the Ring of Water?
You've heard of it?
Vatras told me about it.
Ebbene sì.
You might have mentioned that right away.
Giusto. C'è un ritardo nel dialogo, non ho capito perché.
Tell me. The ring is to the water mages what the paladins are to the fire magicians. But, unlike the paladins, we operate in the background. The ring is a mighty weapon in the battle against the dangers that threaten the people of Khorinis. But this only works as long as we keep the identity of all those secret
Quindi è
who belong to the
un'associazione
Ring of
segreta,
Water.
diciamo.
So keep this to yourself.
Sure.
Tell me, what do you want to know?
How do I...
It's quite simple. You leave the sea... I can take you there if you...
Why aren't you with Lee?
But I am, just not on the farm. You could say I'm our outpost in the city. We don't want...
He'd better shut up.
Di quale nave?
Which? It's on the open sea harbor, behind the cliffs. Lee and a few of his people really want to get away from here. But that could take a while.
Why?
You'd better ask Lee about that. If you meet him...
Va bene. A proposito che... Vediamo che dice. Dimmi quello che sai.
The first was William, one of the fishermen here in Khorinis. One day, he simply didn't return. At first, we thought that one of those sea monsters out there had eaten him in his boat for breakfast. But not too long afterwards, other people started disappearing from the town and the surroundings. Pretty random events, though. Everyone's at a loss so far. The way it looks, we'll just have to wait until we finally stumble across a clue.
That's what I've always said.
The militia is pretty useless if you ask me. They're never going to clear this up. The missing people have just vanished into thin air.
That's not what I heard.
A proposito di quelle persone, può insegnarmi qualcosa?
Sure. I can help you become...
Dai, insegnami qualcosa. Forza.
Come back once you have more experience.
Ah, non c'ho più esperienza, va bene. Giustamente l'ho spesa per... Tanto salviamo. Salviamo. E... quel somaro... Ma io possibile che non c'ho... sto coltello. Vediamo con questo che magari è un pochino più lungo. Vediamo se con questo ci riesco.
A fight! Whack him! He can't keep anything to himself.
Hit him!
Madonna.
Not
Ho fatto
bad.
un sacco male. Non ci riesco, Ci riesco, no? Devo essere un po' più forte. Quindi per adesso evitiamo. Brahim, che stai facendo qui?
What are you doing here? My name is Brahim. I draw maps and sell them. Since you're
questo è
new
il cartografo.
here, maybe you could use a map. It's quite affordable. And
is it
so I've heard. But just look around you. Small wonder that people...
Mostrami le mappe. Ma tanto non c'ho i soldi e non la compro.
Come back again later.
Jack.
Ahoy, you landlubber. Looks like you're stranded here. You look a bit pale around the gills. Never mind, my lad. All you need is a good stiff sea breeze.
Certo. Può dare alle mare. Che fai
What
tu
are you
qui?
doing here? Ever since these scallywags took over my lighthouse, I haven't dared get closer to it than 20 feet. Really bad rabble, that. They're criminals from the Valley of Mind, you know. There was this big bang on the other side of the mountains, and they swarmed all over the land like flies. Now they're hiding out everywhere, even in my lighthouse. I think they're on the lookout for any ship they can raid. Let them. Then at least they'd be out of my tower.
Vieni spesso in
I
città?
always say a town is only as good as its harbor. A harbor is the gate to the world. That's where everyone meets and where everything starts. Once the harbor goes to the dogs, the rest of the city will follow soon.
Dimmi del porto.
Tell me, the harbor of Khorinis isn't what it used to be. There's nothing but riffraff hanging about. The ships don't come anymore, and trade is dead.
Allez, a posto.
This harbor's about to go under.
E se lo dice lui? Perché te ne vai?
So what? Nobody would take an old sea dog like me on his ship these days. Most people think that old Jack's got the gout in his rotten old bones.
And are they right?
Balderdash. Once I've got those planks beneath me feet again, I'll feel like a young whippersnapper.
Grande.
What do you mean by riffraff?
Look at them, the lazy rabble. Most of them don't even know what work is. All they do is drink all day and spend their last pay at the brothel. I tell you, stay away from them.
Perché non
Why
attacco
are the
più
ships no
navi?
longer coming?
They all say that once the war is over, everything will be like it used to be. That's a load of bilge water. I tell you, a sailor can see when a town's going downhill. A sailor feels that in his blood, and I can tell you, forget about this harbor. Its heyday's over.
Va bene, abbiamo capito che Jack è un vecchio lupo di mare e che gli hanno occupato il suo faro, che dovrebbe essere lassù.
Hey, you!
Che stai
What are you
facendo?
doing here?
I'm building a ship because I want to get out of here as fast as I can.
Madonna, quanto è
But the way
agitato
it looks
questo.
right now, this ship will never be finished.
Perché tanta fretta?
Why are you in such a hurry?
Soon the orcs will come and burn down the city.
What makes you think that?
Boy, have you noticed the paladins running around everywhere? Why do you think they're here? I tell you, they're here because the orcs will attack soon, and that won't be pretty.
Posso aiutarti in qualche modo?
Can I help you somehow?
Yes, you can.
La
Find
camomilla?
out what the paladins are planning. I want to know why they're here. And I have to know if the orcs will attack and how far from the city they are. One of the bastards was even seen outside the city.
E
Just
questo è
bring
il
me all the
secondo che ci
information you
conferma
can
che
get.
c'è un
I need to
orco
know how
fuori
much
dalla
time I
città.
have left to finish the boat.
Perché non
Why can't
finisci
you
la
finish?
nave?
Oh, we have thousands of problems. The hull still isn't stable, and it's still missing a lot of boards. But I have hardly any gold left to buy new material with, and the last delivery had bugs in it. My boys don't work productively. One wants a fast ship above all else, the other one is worried about the figurehead. As if we didn't have more important things to do. Also, one of my people is simply not showing up for work anymore. I'm beginning to fear that this will delay the construction even more.
Ti mancano operai.
Yes, his name is Monty. He's vanished into thin air. That lazy pig is probably living the high life on a farm somewhere. I should never have paid him in advance.
Che dici tu? Quando è stata l'ultima volta che l'hai visto?
He hasn't bothered to show up for work for at least 2 days.
Ho sentito che sono scomparse anche altre persone.
Just what I'm saying. That's where the evil starts. Farum the fisherman told me something similar. His buddy William is no longer around. I bet that the orcs are behind
Sì,
all
vabbè,
this.
mo' è tutto colpa degli orchi, su.
Where can I find this Farim?
He's a fisherman. I think that his hut is near the provision store of the paladins, but I don't know for sure.
Mo' è tutto colpa di orchi. Questo agitato. Questo c'ha un'agitazione. Continuiamo il nostro giro per la città. Qui torniamo alla caserma. Direi di andare dall'altra parte però, perché qui ci siamo già stati. Quindi scendo e vado dall'altra parte. Questo chi è? Ah, aspetta, oh. Questo è Bartok, l'ex apprendista del cacciatore, boss.
How's it going?
You're not from around here, are you? Never mind. Neither am I.
Where did you hang around before?
In the woods, hunting scavengers and wolves, together with some hunters. But I gave it up. These are dangerous times. There's a lot of riffraff running around out there.
Where can I...
We had our camp outside near the tavern halfway to Onar's farm. But I don't know whether there's anyone left in the camp now. There used to be 2 of us here in town, until a few days ago. My friend Trokar is an excellent hunter.
Bosper ha detto che lavoravi per lui.
Bosper said...
Yes, I did, but he was only interested in his blasted hides. I told him how dangerous it's gotten out there. He didn't really listen to me. Well, anyway, he paid well. I can't complain about that.
Can you tell me anything else about him?
Bosper had one of his bows stolen recently, in broad daylight.
E che c'è
Some
da
guy just
ridere?
waltzed into his store, took a bow, and left. The thieves are getting more and more brazen.
Puoi insegnarmi qualcosa?
Can you...
I can teach you how to sneak properly and how to handle a bow.
Vuoi riuscire a maneggiarmi Dov'è il tuo amico Troca?
So, where...
Well, it's a curious story.
Only a few days ago, we were both standing at the bar in Corrigan's Tavern, discussing the hunt. Don't ask me what happened next. I had had a few by then. I vaguely remember Trokar saying that he was going out to get a few swamp weed reefers. He never came back.
Allora dove posso trovare dei sigari?
Somewhere down at the harbor as far
Giù
as
al
I
porto.
know.
Beh. Immaginavo. Non sei andata a cercarlo?
Didn't you go looking for him?
No, but I reported it to the militia. But they haven't been able to find him yet. I hope he didn't get attacked by a wolf, or worse. I'm afraid that I'll stumble over his body someday when I'm out hunting. I don't think I could bear that.
Somaro. Perché non andiamo a caccia insieme?
With two, it isn't so dangerous, that's true. Do you know anything about hunting then? I mean, do you know how to skin an animal?
Yes.
All right, but I want to see 50 gold pieces. For that, you can keep the skins and sell them to Busper. That's a fair deal, isn't it?
Più tardi. Boh, va bene. Questo abbiamo detto che non ci interessa, salviamo. Dovevamo andare nella parte destra della città, nella parte ovest della città, quindi da sta parte qua. Sì.
You don't say.
Ok. Lavoratore.
Hey, you!
What led you into this poor area? What are you looking for here?
Bah, un'occhiata in giro.
I'm just...
Ha! Then you better not be caught looking around. It would seem that we have a few thieves in the city who would steal stuff from the rich people. The city guard recently turned the harbor district upside down, but they didn't find anything.
Quindi ci sono dei ladri. Un altro problema.
What do you know about the thieves?
Nothing. But all the citizens are scared and have become distrustful, particularly towards strangers. Don't get caught in strange houses. No one takes kindly to that. Yeah, you gotta protect yourself against thieves. A sturdy cudgel works best.
Un bel randello, una randelata.
I'm forging a few fittings and nails and repairing iron parts. But I don't know enough about forging weapons to be able to instruct you. If you want to
Quindi
learn that,
questo è un
go see
fabbro
Harry.
scarso, diciamo.
He sure knows how to forge weapons. But if you want to train your
Fabbro
muscles a bit,
improvvisato.
I can help you with that.
How much?
50 gold piece.
No. Grazie. Qua c'è un altro pazzoide, se non erro.
Hey!
Ignaz.
Ah, you've come just in time. I'm in need of an assistant for a magic experiment. I'm sure you're eager to do me a favor for science's sake.
Easy, my friend. First tell me what this is all about.
I have developed a new spell, a spell of oblivion. I've already successfully carried out a few practical applications, but I don't have time to conduct one final test.
Che ci guadagna?
What's in it for me if I help you?
I could teach you how to brew potions. I know the recipes for healing and mana essences, and for potions of great speed.
Parlami di
Tell me
questo
more about the
esperimento, via.
experiment and the spell.
The spell serves to make somebody forget various events. So far, I have only found it to work when the person in question is angry, for instance. If he has been knocked down or robbed.
Ok.
Even if he has only witnessed such a deed, he will scratch it from his memory.
So I'm supposed to knock somebody down and then put a spell on
In
him?
poche parole sì. Meglio che cerchi la mia vittima da un'altra
Yes,
parte.
I think you get the point. But to make somebody angry, it is enough to attack him. You don't have to knock him down. So you should pick somebody who's by himself. If there are other people around, you'll just get into trouble with Lord
Giusto
Andre.
ragionamento.
Also, It makes no sense to cast the spell on someone who's busy attacking you. Wait for the right moment.
Va bene, proviamo.
Then take this spell scroll and find yourself once you're done. Come back and tell me how it went.
Va bene, va bene. Lo farò. Lo farò. Vediamo se... No, nulla. Allora, direi che abbiamo fatto un bel giro della città. Abbiamo parlato con le persone principali. No, invece no. Non abbiamo parlato...
Hey, you, wait. You look familiar to me.
What do you want?
I've seen your face before somewhere, right?
Che vuole sta guardia?
Here, we found this picture on some bandits we picked up a few days ago. It looks a lot like you. Apparently, those guys were looking for you.
Accidenti.
No, you've got...
Whatever you say, stranger. But if that happens to be your mug after all, and if you have some problems, and strangers who bring trouble into the city don't stay here long.
Sei stato
I hope I make
chiarissimo.
myself clear.
Pablo. Comunque dicevo, mi sono dimenticato la benedizione del sacerdote di Innos, che è nella piazza dei mercanti.
But so great was the wrath of Beliar that he came across the land and chose the beast.
Guardia. Ah già, poi ancora hanno parlato coi mercanti. Oh.
I am Hacken, the weapons dealer. Every man should carry a weapon these days, especially when venturing outside of the city walls.
Parlami ancora delle zone che ci... Vabbè, questo le schippo. Sai qualcosa sui paladini? Dove ti procuri le tue armi? Ora fabbrica solo per i paladini, già.
He thinks it's his duty. All I can offer you now is my remaining stock.
That's not what I heard.
What do you know? I have seen many pass through the eastern city gate. Some of those who came I had never seen before in my life. And many of those who went out never came back. But what happened the other day was really quite strange.
Tipo?
There was this fellow who came here.
That's not what my husband...
I think his name is Joe. He bragged that he would soon come into some serious money. He claimed that he knew how to get into one of the city towers, where the militia keep their arms. I haven't seen him since, even though I used to bump into him around the same time every day. I reported this to the militia. I thought that maybe he had been caught and thrown into the dungeon. But Lord Andre had no idea what I was talking about. He didn't even know the fella.
Che mi dici dei
What do you
Minaccia?
know about... What do I know about them? They robbed me on my way to the city, and I'm not the only one. They've been up to their tricks for quite a while. The militia tried to track them down, but without any success.
Sai chi nella guardia cittadina ha preso parte alla perquisizione?
The fellow's name is Pablo.
Ah,
He and a
Pablo,
few
che ci ha
others
parlato
were
poco
looking for
fa.
the bandits, but they didn't find them. Do you know where I can find Pablo? He patrols around the city. You'll find him either at the Temple Square or in the lower part of town.
Dove ti hanno
We're
bloccato?
near Akil's farm. Just go out of the city gate from here. Follow the road to the right. After a while, you'll get to a few steps. The bastards came from there. I bet they have their hideout back there in the woods.
Ci penserò
I'll
io.
deal with what? You want to take on the bandits? By yourself? You're quite a good fighter, huh? How much is the matter worth to you? That's a dangerous business. Well, it's all right with me. I'll pay you 100 gold pieces if you defeat the bandits.
Va bene. Però intanto fa vedere che c'hai. Beh. Non esattamente dei buoni pezzi in realtà. Perché richiedono molta forza.
Innos be with you, stranger. If you're looking for a good selection for the traveler, then you're in the right place. But I'm warning you, if you're planning on helping yourself without paying, I'll call the city guard.
Just a moment. Do I look like a thief?
Bah! You won't be the first one to make off with my things today.
Qualcuno ti ha derubato?
I can't prove it. The fellow was damn clever. Introduced himself as Ringaroo, if that really is his right name. He's been hanging around the marketplace the last few days. And every evening he gets plastered at the beer stand down the street. I bet the bastard is drinking my money. I only looked away for a moment, and my purse was gone.
Potrei recuperare il
I can
tuo.
get your... Oh, and why would you do that?
Dipende. Come ricompensa, puoi aiutarmi a raggiungere il quartiere più alto? No, come ricompensa voglio una parte
I
di
want
loro.
to first see if you can get my purse back. Then we'll talk about your reward.
Perché non hai chiamato la guardia?
The guards only respond if a thief is caught in the act. And when I noticed my purse was missing,
mai.
the bastard was already gone.
Quanto oro c'era?
How much? 50 gold pieces. That's quite a lot in these crappy times.
Vedrò che posso
Be careful.
fare.
Lately, things have been getting really tough here. Since the paladins came to town, the guards have been cracking down on brawlers.
Vediamo
So
un po'.
think of something.
I shall.
That's not what I heard.
Mostrami anche. Devo andare.
If I hadn't seen it with my
Cittadino, cittadino. Mercante, Zuri.
I'm Zurus, master of potions. Do you need an essence of healing or a magic elixir? Then you've come to the right place.
No, in realtà non mi serve niente.
Do you brew? No, I either get them from the monastery or I buy them from Constantino, the alchemist. If you're interested in brewing potions, then talk to him. He needs an assistant. But he's too pig-headed to hire someone himself. He's just as stubborn as a mule. He
Ma
always
tanto io voglio
passes me when
fare
he
il
goes out
suo
of the East Gate to
apprendista.
collect plants for his potions.
Dove raccoglie esattamente le sue erbe
He
costantine?
always goes through the Eastern... He wants...
Ok, nella selva, ma non mi interessa. Fanciulla, cittadino. Eccolo qua. Un
What
sacerdote
can I
del
do
fuoco.
for you? Are you seeking spiritual comfort? Do you want to direct a prayer to our Lord Enos, or donate some gold for his church?
Sono venuto per avere la tua benedizione.
I've come to get your... That's good. That's good. Then you will probably want to donate gold to the Holy Church of
certo.
Enos, won't you?
Actually, I wanted your blessing so I can sign on as a...
But my son, without a modest donation to the church, it is impossible for me to bless you. How else can I be certain of your good intentions toward the Holy Church of Enos?
Ma quanto ammonta la donazione
So,
da
how
ste
much does a
parti?
donation usually run to here?
Well, that depends on what percentage you want to give, son.
Ah, che ladro,
Let me see
ragazzi.
how much you brought.
Someone's got to do the work.
You have more than 100 gold pieces. The Lord says, give if you have. The church accepts your generous donation. I bless you in the name of
50
Enos,
di oro.
for he is light
Maledetto.
and righteousness.
Maledetto. Da dove venite?
Who says things like that?
Where do you come from?
I come from the monastery of the magicians, which lies in the mountains. We accept everyone there who is pure of heart and feels the desire to serve our almighty Lord Enos.
Parlami di Enos.
Enos, our almighty Lord, is the light and the fire. He chooses humans to be his tool, giving them magic and laws. We act in his name. We administer justice according to his will and preach his word.
Parlami ancora del come... Sì, parlami ancora del
We
monastero.
instruct our students in all forms of magic, but the arts of the magicians of fire consist of more than these alone. We are also well versed in the art of alchemy and in the creation of powerful runes. We also make excellent wine.
Chiaro. Come mai sei in città?
I have discussions with the paladins and support the citizens with my advice and with helpful words. Particularly in these difficult times, it is our duty to be there for the people and to help the poor.
Va bene. Questa è Sara. Io direi di salvare. Come vanno gli affari?
When the paladins came, I first thought that it was a good business opportunity, but they let Herod make their weapons, and neither Hakon nor I make even one gold piece off them. Moreover, the farmers no longer supply us with food, and all the prices have gone up. It's only a small consolation that the paladins are paying my hotel bill.
Non molto bene, insomma. Che problemi ci sono con i contadini?
They refuse to deliver their goods. Now that the ships no longer come in, the city depends entirely on the supplies provided by the farmers, of course. And Onar, the largest farmer, has hired mercenaries to protect his farm from the city guards. Otherwise, they'd simply snatch the goods for themselves. But the mercenaries don't just guard Onar's farm. They come as far as the small farms outside of town to intimidate the farmers. I saw them as I was passing Akil's farm. I wouldn't like to be in his shoes now.
Dove si trova? Vabbè, vai, mostrami la mercanzia. Ah, questa ce l'ha le armi. In realtà, insomma, cioè sono armi non proprio eccelse, mettiamola così. Questo è Rengaru, quello che ha rubato a Jorah.
Jorah says,
Damn it! I'm out of here!
Ah, ok, post. Baltram.
Welcome, stranger. My name is Baltram. Have you come to stock up on food? I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. I don't have much in stock right now, but I'll be getting a new delivery soon.
Hai un lavoro per me?
No, I already have an errand boy.
Vabbè, mostrami la mercanzia. Nulla che mi interessa, perlomeno.
Hey you, I have a proposition for you.
What do you want?
I want my old stall in the marketplace back. Sarah snatched it away from me. But she has had that spot long enough. I want her to give up the stall.
And what's my part in this?
I will give you a letter to stick in her pocket. Then you go to Andre and tell him that Sarah is selling weapons to Onar. She
che piano
lands in
malefico.
prison. You pocket the bounty, and I get the stall. You have 2 days to accomplish this.
What's in it for me?
When I have the stall, you will get a weapon from me, and a damned good one.
Che succede se mi rifiuto di farlo? Va bene, lo farò? No, non va. Va bene, lo farò.
All right, look.
You're a clever lad.
How am I supposed to force the letter on it?
Let her show you her wares, and while she does, you... And bear in mind, I am an influential...
I've gotta go.
Suit yourself.
Va bene, salviamo. Devo fare sta carognata. Però sti cazzi, all'inizio mi fa comodo fare ste cose.
Show me your...
Quindi la lettera, vediamo un po'. Dov'è sta lettera? Lettera di Cantar. Fine. E vado a denunziarla. Che ignobile uomo. Punti esperienza, quelli che non si fa per i punti esperienza. Vergogna. Un messaggio importante, voglio prestare... Sono qui per recuperare il bottino. Sara sta vendendo armi a Onar. Che stronzo.
Sarah is selling...
Sarah? The weapons merchant in the marketplace? Do you have proof of that?
She has a letter in her pocket which details the delivery of arms to him.
She won't get away with that. I shall have her arrested.
E 100 di oro. Buono. Mi dispiace Sara, ma gli affari sono affari. Quanti punti apprendimento c'ho? 10. Mi dispiace Sara, ma purtroppo.
All civilian judges are to hand over their duties to the royal paladins, effective immediately.
Ah, l'hanno già arrestata. Guarda Sara.
Well done. Sarah is where she belongs. I have taken over her goods, so if you need a weapon...
You were going to give me a weapon.
Ma infatti, mi devi dare un'arma.
This weapon is a masterpiece of the blacksmith's art.
Ascia della nave. Devo andare... Vediamo un po' com'è stascia. 60. Insomma, pensavo meglio, Pensavo meglio. Va bene, io comunque direi che salviamo e continuiamo al prossimo episodio. Ciao ragazzi, grazie di aver guardato. See you guys, bye bye.